Welcome to News with a View, hosted by me, John A. Costa. Today is January 19th, Monday. I had said in another previous video that I did Saturday that I would not be doing any shows for the next week due to personal conflicts. But what I'm going to do is put up some 10 or 12 minute quick little videos of things that are going on that I know will continue to be news during the week. So just to give you my little spin on things, I'll be doing at least 4 10-minute trying to do it no longer than 10 minutes, quick little videos, just to have automatically scheduled on YouTube, that they'll just come up. So, what's going on? We're going to stick with Minnesota because it's very relevant. External emails have shown, or allegedly shown, Minnesota city officials, Minneapolis, helped to track ICE agents for leftist groups and one partners and community groups, adding fuel that the Walz and Frey administration is working to interfere with the actions of ICE. Now, you could say there is nothing wrong, there's no law stopping the publication of where ICE agents are going to be. And I would tend to agree with that statement in part. But if you're notifying the city that we're going to have people in this area so you're aware of what we're doing, and then you are giving them out to people who are actively trying to prevent you from carrying out your legal duties under federal law, I think that could be a problem. Because common sense would say, hey, we've seen what happened when these protesters who are not obeying the law interfere or use a vehicle to try to hit an agent or block agents or just to interfere in their line of duty, how it can escalate real quickly out of control. And for the city government officials releasing this information to groups that have been known to actively seek to interfere with the actions of ICE, that's a problem. And if they getting the go-ahead from Walz and Mayor Frey and maybe even Attorney General Ellison, yeah, that's a major, major problem. And those officials can be charged with interference of federal agents. Again, the Walz administration is in total flames, out of control. The panic that is setting in the officials, people involved with the scams and fraud. One person reportedly trying to exit Minnesota with $500,000 in cash on their way to Somalia and not declaring. There's nothing wrong with taking cash out of the country. Anything over $10,000 must be declared. They did not do that. So you didn't do it, not knowing that you had to do it, because it's plainly made known to people traveling internationally from the United States destination or territory. It's right up there. You sign a little paper when you're leaving. The administration is in for a wallop. I'm almost certain the DOJ has made subpoenas and are actively investigating Walz, his administration, Frey, who is the mayor of Minneapolis, and Ellison, in the context of what communications did he have with these scammers that were not of a investigating tool. How much money did these people give to political entities? When and how? In the case of the individual trying to leave with $500,000 in cash, I mean, you're allowed to have that much money. You can do that. That's not a problem. You could certainly do that and not be in trouble. But if you went to the bank and said, "Give me $500,000 out of my account," that would have to flag. I go to my bank and I'll put $6 worth of pennies in, and I have to give them my driver's license because they want to know who I am, even though I have an account there. And, and if I take cash out, they want my driver's license. So they could report that if in their internal look-through that they feel that is a some type of hanky-panky going on. You can report things of that nature to the Treasury Department. So, a suspicious activity report, an SAR. And you could ask Spitzer of how that worked out for him. So, the idea that these people had $500,000 laying around if they didn't go to a bank, how'd they get it? How'd they get $500,000 in neat $100 stacks of $10,000 each? I mean, it's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Walz now has said that he's trying to turn the heat down. Trying to turn it down. Trying to get the protesters, under control. No, he's not. What he has done has activated the Minnesota National Guard, but hasn't deployed them yet. And he had said he would deploy the National Guard to prevent ICE from doing their job. So it is very, Walz is acting very convoluted, very strange. He's in a panic mode. He knows that the game is up for him. The game is up for Pitzner out of Illinois too, the governor. Game is up. Both of these governors and through their attorney general, not just the governor, have petitioned the federal government, saying that under the 10th Amendment, too much power is being bestowed on the states, too much federal power is being bestowed on the states that interfere with the separation of the federal government and state government. You had some courts that have agreed with that. They said, nope, can't send National Guard troops in there. And that's going to go right up to the shadow docket. The United States federal government would have to prove that the actions taken in those municipalities and in that state and by the governor make it so that they have to bring in National Guards because there's no protection for federal agents or federal property. I think in those cases it can be absolutely proven where you had people say, we are not going to assist ICE in any manner. Don't answer a call. Don't answer whatever. ICE, you come to our town, we're going to tell you to get the F out. That came out of a Attorney General for Philadelphia. So when you have that type of hostility towards federal agents, and you say you can't bring them in, and you're not providing them protection, yeah, I think you're going to have at least a 6-3 decision by the justices that, yeah, Trump, you could send troops there if you meet the following criteria. And that's going to happen, folks. That is going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is going to take place. The other thing that happened in Minnesota yesterday, a radical right protester who is there, Jake Lang, and he is a January 6th, 2020 protester / political prisoner. So he was at the protest on January 6, 2020. And he had stated in Minneapolis, in the middle of radical left protesters, that he would burn a copy of the Quran on the steps of the city hall in protest of welfare fraud. Well, guess what happened? He is alleging to say he was stabbed by a crazy white commie protester. And he was not hurt because of the body armor he was wearing. You could burn the flag, you could burn the Bible, you could burn the Quran. You can do that. It's not a hate crime. It's part of your freedom of expression. And, you know, the First Amendment. You can do things, but remember there can be consequences. And when you do something like this guy did in the middle of a protest, well, yeah, good chance you're going to get hurt, mostly in the United States. Burning the flag is considered all right. Burning the Bible is considered all right. Burning the Quran is considered all right. But to people of the faith of Islam, this is probably one of the most unholiest things you could do. In essence, it is blasphemy. And in their culture and in their beliefs, you know, blasphemy must be answered with death. We say, hey, no, you can't do that. You can't take your religion and then press it forward like that. But if this did happen, the police should investigate it and look for the person who attempted to or allegedly stabbed him. But I mean, you have to be a moron to do something like Jake Lang did. You could. You're allowed to be a moron. But yeah, Jake, you're not going to gather too much sympathy, because you could have held a sign there saying that I am appalled with the fraud. You could have done that. You could have said, you know, Somalis who commit fraud should be deported. You can do that. But to do what you did and not think something bad was not going to happen, yeah, unless you want to be a martyr. If you want to be a martyr, knock yourself out, be a martyr. All right, I've been going for 15 minutes on this. I'll probably stretch it to, 20 minutes, but that's what's going on. There's a lot of things going on, and my Tuesday 10-minute show or 15-minute show will address some of the issues that are going to be coming up this week. All right, thank you. Everyone be safe, be well. Remember, if you can give it to a charity, give it to a charity. If you're not comfortable with that, please think about giving to a food bank. They need food, they need money. Say a prayer. Prayer does work, regardless of what a Democrat might tell you. And with that, everyone be safe. And I'm going to schedule this show up to go up on Monday at 12 noon. So, all right, everyone, be safe as I fade to black.